All right, in this video, we're just going to do a quick tutorial on the weekly assignment and kind of what the expectations are. I really felt like this would help you kind of understand what's expected. And the whole idea of this, weekly assignment that we're doing in the horse course is for you to take the information that we're giving you each week and apply it to an animal. As an educator, I always feel when students apply the information, they tend to retain it more, and longer. So for this assignment, in the beginning, we're asking you to choose an animal, any type of equid that you would like to own, whether it's a horse, donkey, mule, or other type of hybrid or a zebra. Use your imagination if you're choosing a hypothetical animal. If you actually own horses, donkeys, mules, etc., you can actually choose one of them and apply the assignments each week to that animal. Now, for a quick brief description, in my example, I would say I'm choosing a horse. I'm going to choose an American quarter horse, and it's going to be a gelding. And then I'm actually going to use this animal to do Western pleasure riding. And that's all I'm asking you to use in your description. That way, when each week, that's going to affect the type of assignments, or the type of plans that you develop. For example, I'm doing Western pleasure riding. That means I need to ride this animal almost every day, throughout the week, doing training. So that's going to affect his nutrition status. That's going to affect my healthcare plan. That has many implications. So choose what you'd like and just write a brief description on that. And then the real focus of this week's assignment is a hoof care plan. And we've gone through all of the information, from basic hoof care going all the way to laminitis and why it's so important. So the first, part of that hoof care plan is, trimming feet. And you have to ask yourself, how often am I going to do this? So you go back in the notes and look at frequency, look at the place where you live in the world, look at those different factors and kind of get an idea, well, for this animal, I'd probably have to do it every 6 weeks. Or, for this animal, it's pretty dry, arid region, maybe every 8 weeks. So, decide on that and then ask yourself, am I going to do this myself or am I going to have a farrier come in and do it for me? So if you're doing it yourself, then I'm going to ask you to look up your supplies, a hoof pick, and all the other stuff you may need, and just come up with a brief list, not a very comprehensive list, but just a brief list of the tools you'll need and price those out using your local currency where you are in the world. Now, if you are using a farrier, then find out how much it would cost for a farrier to come in and trim all 4 feet. So you can make a quick phone call, you can look on the internet, use any resource you want, even in the local paper, and get an idea of how much a hoof trim would cost you. All right, and then just the second question on this assignment is, are you going to put shoes on your animal? So, if you're not going to shoe your animal, then just briefly in a couple sentences state why. I want to keep my animal barefoot because, or I really, going to keep them on pasture, not ride them very much, etc. So that's how you would reason that. If you do plan on shoeing your animal, then just find out from that farrier how much it's going to cost to put 4 shoes on all 4 hooves. So a one-time deal, how much it would cost you in your local currency. And then that's it. So that's it for this week's assignment. Now, for evaluation, you're actually going to evaluate your peers. So we're going to ask you to go in each week and evaluate at least 3 of your peers. And you're just checking for completeness and that it's pretty accurate. Now, remember, a lot of folks in this class, enrolled in this class, English may not be their primary language. So we're not grading on grammar and spelling, but we're really looking at content. So, are they going to trim their feet often enough? Do the prices look reasonable? And again, if it's in local currency, that's going to be hard to kind of evaluate. And so you're going to complete this assignment by the end of this week, of week 2, and then your peer evals will be due by the end of week 3. So they're a week behind. We'll release those at the beginning of week 3, and then you finish them by the end of week 3, and then we'll move on to the next assignment.